Alright, so I know that I'm working on this Write-in Bernie campaign and everything, which I'm going to continue to work on because as of now, it's the only hope I can see. But what I really think that we ought to do, is boycott the election. I mean, this is ridiculous. Like, one of the nominees lost, you know? And I don't mean like just not vote, not show up and not vote. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is show up, all of us, to the election polling places, show up and refuse to vote. And sit there until we get an actual election. If every single American in every single city who was planning on voting anyway showed up to their polling place on the 8th and sat there until we get an actual fucking election and not this sham, this bullshit fucking charade, you know, that between the media and the government, whatever the fuck that is, and these fucking oligarchs. No. Like, I'll tell you what, when Bernie entered the race, I had hope in democracy again for a minute. And, you know, before that happened, I was of the persuasion, like, I'm not going to vote. What the fuck is the point of voting? You know? It's two sides of the same coin. You know? But when Bernie entered the race, and, you know, it looked like there was, you know, I mean, he was winning. He won. He did win. He won. Even despite all of the rigging and all of the suppression and all of the, you know, fraud, the purging people off the rolls and closing polling places and changing people's parties and shredding people's votes and electronic machine rigging, you know, multiple different kinds of electronic machine rigging and hacking, electronic voting machine hacking, and software, you know, that came with the machine that allows rigging, and super delegates and yada yada yada. Even despite all of that, he still won. He fucking won. You know, and that, what does that tell you? It tells you, you know, that we do have power. We do. But then they just went, no, he didn't win. Hillary won. Hillary won. I haven't seen Star Wars, so I don't know what the Jedi mind movement is, but that's what they did. They fucking Jedi mind tricked us. You know? Hillary won. No, she fucking didn't. You know? Bernie won. This would be, I mean, if it was legitimate, this would be an election between Trump and, well, Trump, who was also propped up by Hillary, oddly enough. But, you know, it wouldn't matter because Bernie would have won in a landslide. I wouldn't have to be making this fucking freeway sign right now. I'd be doing one of the other millions of things that I need to be doing right now, like taking care of my dogs and cleaning my house and, you know, spending time working on, you know, career moves and investments and, you know, whatever the fuck else people need to do, you know, and or drinking Mai Tais on the beach, chilling, you know, but not doing this bullshit because they fucking said that somebody won who clearly didn't win. So now, you know, so I was fighting people. I got in a couple of fights. I got in a big fight with my ex-husband because he doesn't think that I should vote. He doesn't think people should vote. And I said, no, that's what they want. They want you not to vote. You know, and he said, well, well, if you vote, then you're part of the corruption. You're part of the problem. You're condoning a corrupt system, and you're basically, endorsing it. And I said, no, if you don't vote, then you have you're not doing your civic responsibility, You're not helping to elect leaders that are going to make the changes and improvements that you think are appropriate. And we fought, oh man, we fought a lot. In fact, my ex-husband, a man who we're still friends and who I absolutely adore and love dearly, I had to unfriend him on Facebook and block him at one point even. Yeah, that's how much, how adamant I was about my position, and he was about his. And there was another really good friend that I got in the same argument with, a really, really close friend. But they were right. They were absolutely right. Going in, so like I'm working on the write-in for Bernie campaign, right? Which is a genius strategy, absolutely genius. If you think about the way that the electoral college works, it's a very smart way for the people actually to use the Constitution to legally take our power back. And in 10 states, and today now it's going to be 11, it's going to include California today, Bernie Sanders is a certified write-in candidate. There's no sore loser laws that apply. There's nothing except for he is a viable write-in candidate who, if anyone in that state, in those 11 states, vote for him, they will be counted. And if they beat the other candidates, if he beats the other candidates, then he takes that state. That's all there is to it. That then denies the other two, the 270 electoral college votes that they need to win, and it moves on to the House of Representatives. Sure, it's possible that he could lose there. I don't think he will. They absolutely hate Hillary and Trump. They've already said that they're gonna impeach. They promised to impeach her before she even gets elected. And Trump, they all backed away from him and condemned his actions, and they were running from him like he had the plague or leprosy or something. Pretty much the only thing that both parties in the House do agree on is that they appreciate and trust Bernie Sanders and believe that he's honest and has integrity and works hard for the average American. That's about the only thing that they all do agree on. So, yeah, I definitely think that they would, and also it's the new House of Representatives, the incoming House. So if we, were to also elect down-ticket Bernicrats who will support him, then that even gives a greater chance. And then if we all, make it known that that's who we want, and that any House members who don't choose him, they will not be elected next term that their election is up. That gives us even more power. So yeah, point being, it's an absolutely genius plan. Very logical, very strategic, genius. However, going in and writing Bernie Sanders, which in this election is the only person that I could feel any sort of decency about voting for. When I think about, looking at my ballot and taking my pen or my pencil and filling in that oval next to a different name, it makes me not feel good. It makes me feel, well, all sorts of different things for various different candidates, but none of them are good. Not one, except for Bernie Sanders. He's the only one. However, despite how proud I will be to be able to be an elector, I'm actually a presidential elector candidate for Bernie Sanders. I'm pledged to him in California, one of the 55. And if he were to take this state, the 55 of us would be going to Sacramento, and we would actually be electing him as part of the Electoral College. As proud as I am of that, voting for Bernie Sanders, in a way, ironically, feels a whole hell of a lot like condoning cheating and accepting a cheater as having won. I don't need to write in Bernie Sanders because Hillary Clinton isn't a candidate. Hillary Clinton isn't a candidate. She lost. She lost the primary. That's math. That's just math, That's aside from all of her corruption and legal issues and racketeering and pay to play and blah, 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 the list goes on endlessly. Emails and Benghazis and whatever, That's aside from all of that. This is just math. There's no emotion to it, He won, she lost. So, fuck writing him in. Why do I need to write him in? Why do I need to make this sign, to beat her? We already beat her. She lost. Anyway, so, writing him in, like I say, as proud as I will and would be about that, it's almost an act of submission and condoning the corruption in the government, and that's, I think, what my ex-husband meant by what he said, because it's true. If I take place in this election, if I cast my vote for the candidate that I want, the candidate who won the nomination, I am basically saying I'm acknowledging and accepting Hillary Clinton as a legitimate candidate, which she is not. So, then, if that's the case, the only ethical thing to do at that point would be to boycott the election. How can I take place and condone and support and endorse a fake election, an election that is not, it's like they might as well just put anybody up there, because we didn't vote for those people. Anyway, not to mention, I would say 9 out of 10, if not more, Americans are unhappy with the way our government is running at this point. 9 out of 10, if not more. So that's pretty bad. A lot of us, want to do something about it. A lot of us do something about it. But we all do it at different times, in different places. This is the one day a year where we already all show up at the same place. We already have that planned into our schedule. So, what if we show up and as a nation, as an entire nation, we protest at the same time. The entire nation. Go to your polling place. Bring a comfy lawn chair or, you know, a cushion, a couple snacks, you know, whatever, a book, whatever. Or, I mean, really, honestly, it'd be a great time to, like, get to know each other, too, as long as we're going to be sitting there stuck together, because we need to do that. Trump people and Clinton people and Jill people and whoever, all people, all of us, we're all Americans. You know, we need to figure this shit out. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. It's like a kangaroo court. It's like a, you know, what kind of Mickey Mouse operation is this? You know, this isn't an election. This is ridiculous. This is nonsense. This is like a circus, three-ring circus. You know, where it's just anything goes. I mean, there's no rules. There's no, you know, this democracy. What? Yeah, sift through that and find democracy. Good luck. You know, never gonna happen. So, check it out. November 8th. We're already gonna be there. Go to your polling place. Boycott the election. Sit there. Talk to your neighbors. Let's get in little groups. Let's figure this shit out. You know? But there's no way that these handful of people, handful of families can ignore, you know, somewhere between 150 and 350 million people protesting at once. So, think about it.